It wasn't a research center. A bunch of machines and 3 men working in barely acceptable conditions do not qualify as a research center, even if they were researching. They had very limited hardware and budget, and lots of passion for what they did. The whole focus of their work was to study some process in the atmosphere. And for some reason they couldn't use any average balloon. They had a beacon of sorts with miles-long cable attached to its base. The further away from the equator you are, the closest the stratosphere is. So it is of no surprise that they did it in Alaska. For 5 months they lived as recluses with regular supply drops made by plane by the Air Force. They got chocolate, brandy, food, and medical supplies, just in case. They were lucky enough to never need it, anyway. The base was powered by a group of 3 generators, and they had gas to have them working for about a year. Everything was accounted for. Everything but the storm, of course. The military had built them a shed to protect the gas barrels. It was sturdy. It could stand up to above-average storms. But not this one. Their shelter was severely damaged during the 18 hours of rage that came from the sky. The 3 of them argued. Should we retract the balloon? One idea was that yes, otherwise all their efforts may be rendered in vain. The other was no, since storms were one of the things they were supposed to study. Stay Up High won by 2 votes against 1. When the time to examine the damages came, there was little good news. The cable was damaged. They had lost most of their combustible barrels. Most of their extra food and almost all the water was gone. The radio, luckily, was working, and the Air Force managed to make an emergency drop with a few extra barrels of food and water. Once they felt safe enough for long enough, they updated the data collected by their beacon. It had a high-tech prototype microphone in it to record if certain waves from planes could be detected. That was a little extra by the company that made the microphone, of course. They had put some money in for the project. Lo and behold, it detected something during the storm. It took them several hours to clean the track enough to understand what it was. Voices, talking, having a conversation. Just 5 sentences. Sentence 1, voice 1.
How long before they come back?
Sentence 2, voice 2.
Not long. We can't keep it up forever.
Sentence 3, voice 1.
They will find us sooner or later.
Sentence 4, voice 2.
Maybe, but not fast enough to see what we are doing with their water.
Sentence 5, voice 1.
Shh. I think someone is listening.
The language wasn't perfect English. There wasn't an accent either. It sounded more robotic. Once the files were sent to their bosses, they received order to pack and come back with whatever data they had, and let the beacon where it was. They protested, and were ignored. Once back, the 3 of them signed a contract. They can't speak about any of this. It's more or less standard in some areas of research, but the contracts are usually signed before the research is done, not after. The last thing they learned was that other groups were sent to the region to do more research. Groups that included well-armed soldiers. They did the right thing. They didn't ask. I don't think we could possibly like the answer. For another story, tune in next Tuesday. Meanwhile, watch another video. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Check the description for our social media. And sleep well.
If you can.